I'm off to Scott's studio before I go do a Zoom, and because Scott took out one of his really, really big paintings that has been kind of hiding for a while now, and before he puts it back, I want to film it. So this is the really, really big painting, and it has this gorgeous frame on it that, to be honest, who knows when we'll be able to use it again. But this is a young model named Morgan, and her family are butchers, right? And they kind of went into business with a restaurant that opened up, which is pretty fancy for our area. And I keep thinking, well, maybe they'll buy this painting. So Scott had this in the Portrait Society, we think 2008, 2009, because when you go to the Portrait Society website, they show all the finalists, I think starting in 2009. Does it have a date?
2009.
Okay.
That's when it
but I remember, I don't think that they had this in. I'll have to double check, because I was noticing that on their website, they didn't have finalists before that. And I thought maybe this was the year before in 2008, but okay. I guess it's 2000. And this was a skull that we had found in the back of our property. And Scott says you can tell by these certain amount of points, like how old it is. And I mean, this was a pretty big skull. And the local farmers would come over, and because we used to have like hunters that would like hunt behind our property, and they don't really do that anymore. And Scott showed them the skull, and the funny thing is they all said, Scott would say, "Oh, that's mine. That's definitely mine. I think I shot that buck or deer." You don't call them bucks, right? If they're young? I mean, if they're old?
Yeah, I think
they're not bucks.
I think they were bucks. And,
is that what they're called, even when they're old?
A male deer, I think. And,
I'll have to investigate
but they all said that they remembered that one.
They remembered it. And that's the one that got away.
It was the biggest points that they've ever seen in this area. So.
Oh, yeah.
So I ended up giving it to one.
Yeah, Scott gave it to him because honestly, I was nervous that they were just going to come in your studio and take it. Because it was just hanging on the wall. And like, one day you're going to come out and it's going to be gone.
I painted it and I find all kinds of skulls and I was giving them to people.
So I just wanted to show this. This was a really beautiful painting. And I think Scott he didn't get the grand prize, but he got first place that year. And yeah, we painted Morgan many times. She was a beautiful model. So before Scott hides it away again, I thought I would come in and do some close-ups. Of course, I don't think the video... Scott, did you take some good photos? Because I
took a few photos, but I actually need to varnish it. It's gone flat.
Oh, yeah.
So like some of the background and stuff, I'm going to take it out of there.
Yeah, because I think the video probably lightens it a little too much. But I think it's amazing. I love the way you did the grasses. Also, I wanted to announce that Scott and I, not only are we going to Cape Town this year to do a workshop, but Talita has told us about her favorite place to bring students is a safari in Kenya. Now, Scott and I, we've been to Tanzania before. So anybody who has always had that on their bucket list, and maybe were a little bit too nervous to go by themselves or didn't know like what companies to use, she is an expert. She, first of all, lives in South Africa, and this is her business. So she knows all the companies. This is her full-time thing. Like, she knows what to do. And everybody that has taken trips with her absolutely just thinks she's the greatest. So I would love it. Anybody who would love to come and travel with Scott and me to a safari in Kenya, November 2026, please reach out to me or reach out to Talita, because she'll give you everything you need to know. One thing I want to emphasize is that I think human nature, we all kind of put things off. We think, oh, I just don't want to pull the trigger. It's too far away. Now, when we were even planning the trip this year, which was really just an actual in-class workshop in Cape Town, just painting portraits, the people that I invited, they were all like, well, let's just add a safari on. And I looked and tried, and you guys, these things sell out a year or more in advance. Now, the places that she likes to work with are all small. They're not like giant hotels with lots and lots of people. They're like 6, 8, 10 room places. So they have to book out that far in advance. Memories that you'll have forever, paintings and photographs that you'll be able to use for years. And go with experts. Go with people who've been there before. Scott and I have been to Tanzania. We've been to South Africa. Talita is a professional in this. So be guided by also fellow artists. I hope you think about it. And if you're at all interested, please reach out to us or reach out to Talita for any questions because it's not the type of thing that you can just wait until next spring. I mean, it's like you kind of have to put a deposit down now. And also, I mean, at least put a deposit down. And if you have any inkling that you can't do it, then you just do travel insurance. And if something happens in the next few months or before the trip, then you're completely covered and peace of mind. But I'm excited, and the photos that Talita has shown us of this place in Kenya, and I've talked to her about it. And one thing that I know this video is going long because I'm a talker, but the one thing that I really emphasized to Talita, and the reason why she chose this specific location and these specific people to work with and to visit is because it has a lot of altruism. Now, I mean, it's not a cheap trip, but we know that we'll be doing good. We will be animal sanctuaries and helping women and children. So if this sounds interesting to you at all, I hope you jump on this opportunity. Scott and I are at Renolda Gardens. We've shown you this so many times, but they did a huge renovation of this beautiful kind of greenhouse, and so we're going to go visit it today. Now this was been over 100 years old, and this used to be really, really falling apart. So, gosh, I can't even imagine how much money they've spent. So, take a look and see what they've done. Oh, this looks like a little lemon or lime tree. They told us that it is Community Day, and that's why there's so many cars here. So we'll have to take a stroll through the house too, just because.
It's like they're having a wedding or something.
Yeah, they have weddings here. Let's see what else they have. It's always fun to explore. Oh wow, look at that. It looks fuzzy and soft like a sweater. This is where they grow orchids, and I know that they do plant sales all the time. So you can come here and buy very unique orchids whenever, and other types of plants too. Wow, that's fascinating. Look at that. Oh my gosh, look at how beautiful that is. Isn't that fascinating how it grows angled down from a basket? That looks really healthy. They put this nice netting to make it so the sun doesn't beat in here too strongly. Oh my gosh, these flowers are plants? White dragon. Oh my gosh.
These flaps.
Oh, these.
The whole thing over.
It's open.
But these will go open and close.
We're wondering how bees got in here.
When it gets cold, they can close.
Yeah, this is just like an epic greenhouse. You can have your wedding here. And the rose garden and more of a formal garden are past that kind of area, that partition. Yeah, this is definitely a go-to for us when we want to have lunch or go for a walk. Renolda Gardens is perfect. These, it's like a gourd promenade tunnel. Yeah, oh my gosh, these are so pretty. These look like thistles. We have something like this in our garden. These marigolds are just gigantic. They're like 4-inch diameter. And it's such a cute scarecrow. How sweet. Just at the end of that garden is this adorable old-fashioned, I think these used to be called like tobacco barns, or since this is probably original to this Renolda Gardens whole compound, and it's probably just for garden tools and stuff now, but there's little secret walking paths within the trees. We found out that today is like open day. Even though we're members, we were curious, like, why is there so many cars all up in the grass? But we've decided that we want to go in and see the new Sargent again. So we're going to brave the crowds, but it's good because usually, to be honest with you, this museum is usually completely empty. So it's nice that people are coming to see it. When we got home from Renolda House, the brochure was from the museum was in our mailbox. And it gave a little bit of backstory to that painting, that portrait by John Singer Sargent of Mrs. Augustus Hemingway, 1890. It was a gift in 2022. Harriet Hemingway was a prominent woman in Boston society, known primarily as the founder of the Massachusetts Audubon Society. Harriet's actions stemmed from her horror at the practice of killing birds for their feathers, which were used to decorate women's hats. One of the seminal events in the history of activism in this country took place in a parlor in Boston's Back Bay in 1896. Oh, so this painting was done before she did that.
We're about to get back up there. Me and Danny and a couple of friends.
This was a bedroom once upon a time. It was not a gallery. Northeast space.
Northwest.
In London for 3 years.
Good point.
What? She talks too fast for me. This was a bedroom once upon a time. It was not a gallery. Northeast space.
Northwest.
In London for 3 years.
Good point.
I needed a sleeping porch.
Doors everywhere.
In the annex of this museum is where they hold traveling shows, and to be perfectly honest, we weren't that interested in coming and seeing the Reynolds tobacco history stuff, but we thought, well, while we're here, they have some wonderful illustrations. So obviously these were in their vault of old advertisements that they had obviously commissioned.
And it says artist unknown.
Now, this is a pastel. It's hard to tell, but yeah, it's a pastel. Isn't that amazing to think that they commissioned a pastel for this advertisement?
It's 1933.
Yeah, and they don't, right, the artist didn't sign it. This definitely has a very kind of old illustration look. All those paintings back there that then had that sort of big brushwork that they learned from all the painters from the 1800s. That sort of dapper gentleman and that flapper beautiful woman. Selling cigarettes. I've never heard of this artist. 1920s. Probably the heyday of when Camel cigarettes and Reynolds tobacco was at its height.
Interesting because it talks about the history of camels. Originally wanted to be considered a manly, so they came up with these Marlboro Man and all this stuff.
Marlboro
But
Man.
these illustrations are a lot to do with trying to expand the range of who buy cigarettes to women.
Oh, right, because there's a lot of pretty women in
They
the
first
ads.
started out with, so like these sorts of paintings are paintings of society people.
Yeah.
And it's men smoking with the women and sometimes offering cigarettes.
Right, because women, it was sort of looked down on that women would smoke back
You
then.
had to break that taboo.
But she's really pretty, and I think it's the same model. That girl and that girl, they tend to use the same model.
This is the elders.
Yeah.
And then they moved into doing ones where it wasn't just society and men giving cigarettes to women. It's women themselves.
Right.
cigarettes themselves. It's like
Women's lib. Smoke. Isn't that interesting how selling products, you know, where they want to manipulate, who they want to get to buy their product. Always traveling, the jet set, you know, the aspirational life. Roy Spreader, boy, there's a lot of illustrators that I just don't know. So interesting how it's like just, you can tell it's like raw canvas and then just white. I'm wondering if it's because they would superimpose type, like in a magazine or something, and they just wanted it to be sort of blank for them to fill in different type for different, you know, settings. So I'm learning about a lot of illustrators, but all these illustrators were from the 20s. So yeah, maybe they just didn't stay famous in the 30s.
So this artist studied with William Merritt Chase at the Art
Oh,
Students.
so that he said that this artist studied with William Merritt Chase, because they all did. All of these illustrators like learned from Howard Pyle or N.C. Wyeth or all those great painters from, you know, legacy.
He said he joined with fellow students, Georgia O'Keeffe, to do parodies of their instructors' work.
Oh.
And
It was so nice to see this museum. I was feeling kind of down today, and I told Scott I needed to get out and see nature. So it was so great that we actually got to see old great paintings and some new paintings. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you. I want to thank Angie for liking this painting so much. She bought this off of our store. And if anybody's interested in sketches or kind of studies or demos, we sell a lot of those on our store. This is a 12 by 10 oil. Scott painted it from life when we were in Lake Atitlan, Guatemala, and there was this whole co-op of weavers that we hired, and she was just a young girl that was growing up to be a weaver, and it was amazing because we would go there and every day a different person would pose for us. So anyways, I just wanted to profile this, and thank you so much. I brought over some popcorn and they seem to really like it. Oh, I love it. Hi. Unfortunately, a couple weeks ago, the rooster, David said he came out and the rooster had passed away in his sleep. He was such a gentle rooster and so pretty. But David says that we will get a baby rooster, so that you kind of want a rooster when they're young so that they kind of imprint on you. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I had no idea that they would love popcorn so much. Oh my God, this is making me so excited. And I put a few little strawberries in there. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Look at the goats. Okay. Have fun eating.